What do you call a small town populated exclusively by blacksmiths? An village. Welcome to the stream. Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you for being here. I hope that tonight is finding you well. We've got Conga is first in chat tonight. Conga Line Monkey, happy to have you here with me. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your enthusiasm. And Crusade Bear close behind. Hello, my friend. Wonderful to see you. Lucent Jelly with the pumpkins and trophies tonight. It's usually pumpkins and tombstones. And getting your cheese ready. Thank you, Jelly. I look forward to it. Derek Ocean. Great to see you, my friend. Happy Thursday/Friday. It was finding me well, good grief. Even I can admit that's not one of my better ones. That was a pretty weak joke, but I was kind of on the stairs on my way down here when it occurred to me that I still hadn't come up with one yet. So sometimes you get what you paid for. So 2 games tonight, my friends. We're going to play Horace for the first couple hours. I'd like to say we're really far along in this game, but it just seems to go on forever and ever and ever. It's got a crazy amount of story in it. And it wouldn't be so bad. Like, I wouldn't mind if it were just hours and hours of just gameplay and levels, but there's so much talking. I'm getting grinded down to a paste by all the talkiness. But we will continue because there are still moments where it is really fun. And speaking of being grinded down to a paste, after we're done with Horace, we're going to continue the playthrough of Dark Souls. So let me just shrink my head out of the way a bit. We're really close, though. Look at that. We're 75% of the way to 1 million junk. Our ultimate goal. So here we go. A lot of times with games, like, you know, you kind of want to summarize what's been happening in the game up until this point, but with Horace, I mean, there's really no point. The story is just all over the place. Just stuff is gonna happen. I don't have my balloon? Nonsense. Eight. Lots of 8s. C, D, E, F. R, J, K, L, M. I wonder if these letters are significant. Because there are places in the game where we can type. No, don't save a video. Alright, maybe that got it. I can refer back. Oh my goodness. This game right now looks to be about as reliable as my Castlevania cartridge. Thrilling. Are we gonna run through the whole rainbow now? What is going on? I'm still amazed by how long this game is. You and me both. We're being rebuilt by the Deus Ex Machina. Don't think it's bad, it just loses focus a little.
My name's Fort, said the big robot. I guess I looked puzzled as he then explained. When the nice virus hit, their robot leaders encouraged them to choose their own names. His serial number was H9CTTBVSHJ42. So he thought Fort would be a nice nickname, or as he put it, 4-2, Fort. Ooh. For a while, we were encouraged to show our individuality. I wish I hadn't bothered. He suddenly stopped and looked around. Come on, buddy. We should find somewhere to hide. The robo-government helicopters patrol at night.
I don't think it's bad, Konga says, just loses focus a little. And, I mean, I wouldn't mind if it were...
Don't look very safe. Be careful.
My only issue is...
how I've managed without you.
My only issue is just how talky it is. I kind of feel like, you know, when I'm playing a game, anytime when I'm not playing the game is time wasted.
Should have brought a bucket and spade. Why are there saws here?
It makes no sense.
So if you're gonna waste my time, then
No.
you better have a really good reason for it. I was thinking of playing this game, but it seems too long, Derek says.
Did you see that saw?
I saw the saw.
I couldn't get out of the dirt.
Hold your hat.
I just want you to be quiet.
Where do you keep all the rubbish after you picked it up?
I've never really thought about it.
Must
Hey.
be nice to be the hero.
We can swap any time you like.
Now, you see, this part is great, because, like, the game is talking, yes, and that's fine, but it's letting me play while it talks. You see? Like, that's how you do it.
Why are you dressed like that? Keep your nuts away from those saws.
And my boats.
So you're taking the high road.
It's how I was programmed.
Even if it seems interesting, it seems too long for you, Derek. Welcome in, cows. Great to see you. Welcome to Horace.
Nearly there. Concentrate.
Just as I was complaining about the game, like, boring me with story and not letting me play, it let me play while the story was going on. Phenomenal. Excuse me just a moment.
Are you rebooting? No rush to save the world, I take it.
Alright. No rush to save the world. Are you hoping it ends soon? I'm of a mixed mind. Like, in some ways, you know.
You keep doing the wrong things.
I'm doing the right things, but not necessarily in the right order.
Like, this part here is really, like, re-endearing the game to me. But,
Do you ever wonder why we're all here?
This isn't the time for it.
when I'm at the point where when I reach the end, I won't be sad that it's over.
I can see my house from up here.
I think so far as the writing goes, we've entered my favorite part of the game. Just lots of little quips and not interrupting the gameplay. I love it.
I don't enjoy getting electrocuted.
I'm kind of scared. Like, I kind of don't want to leave this area too early because I don't want to.
It's more difficult than it looks.
It's harder than flying around on top of the collision.
I don't want to miss any of the optional dialogue here.
This time, buddy, I believe in you.
We might be wearing it out. Mile Hyrule, welcome in. Thank you for your praise of my performance in the last Dark Souls stream. I don't know, like, the spider fight, I felt like I was just, you know, I was just, abusing health refills to make it through, so I don't know if I can be super proud of my performance there. I'm happy to be done with it. The big guy, like the big guy that kept crushing me, he was a much easier fight, but
Just a bit further and we can have a little chat.
well, I was gonna say I felt like I did it more legitimately, but I also feel like I locked him into doing only one attack, and so I kind of cheesed him. I kind of cheesed him too. I feel like both my victories were somewhat cheese. But it is what I come armed with, after all.
As we sat waiting for the helicopter to pass, we continued chatting. I told Fort about everything that had happened to me, about my quest to clean a million things, about my friends, and about everything that had happened on the moon. All I want now is to go home, I said.
You can come to my home,
said Fort.
I'm on the run, but it's pretty safe there.
When I asked Fort why he was on the run, he told me about everything that had happened to him, how after the nice virus there would be no more war and therefore no need for most soldiers.
Soldiers like him. As my model was designed to destroy other robots, we were built with an incredibly powerful core,
he said.
There was no way to disarm us, so we were put to death. Because of our power, the only way we could be detonated was deep underwater, miles out at sea. Even then it caused huge explosions. But while we were waiting to get on the boat, I just sort of ran off.
As soon as the helicopter had gone, Fort said,
"Let's move."
It's still a win. In Dark Souls, you take the W any way you can.
Here we go.
You know the deal, can't watch this game. I may be back for Dark Souls, or maybe not, kind of tired, so might pass out. Right on, Mile Hyrule. I hope that you make it. But if not, I at least appreciate
Right up to the sky.
But I can't.
getting to talk to you for a little while, and thank you again for the compliments about my performance. I hope I can continue to make you proud.
Stay low and move fast. Nice one, geezer.
Have you got a spare rocket pack? Why couldn't you live in a pyramid?
Too expensive.
I mean, I don't think anyone lives in a pyramid, right? The point of a pyramid... The point of a pyramid is kind of the opposite.
This used to be used for archaeology surveys.
Swimming is such an incredible hassle in this game.
We're very exposed up here.
My dash attack doesn't work on unlevel ground. It looks like there's a secret down here.
That's a
Look at
relief.
that.
I thought you were dead.
You can't hide secret
This sword
treasures
was
from
valuable.
Agent Frownie.
Now, this was clearly worth something.
This part has its ups and downs.
I didn't know you could flutter multiple times in the same jump. I just learned something new. I mean, I actually observed that we could do that a moment ago, but I'm just now commenting on it. But it wasn't until this level right here that I learned that.
How about you drop the boombox and carry me?
But I can't play tapes on you.
Yeah, this is my favorite part of the game. Okay, we're gonna
Some things were worthless junk, but this could be sold for a decent price.
move across the top, and then we'll go back down for the treasures on the bottom. I don't think I can jump back up here if I go over there. I think we've crossed the top.
This was one of the most valuable things I've seen. Fort said that it would be best if we waited in this building. The helicopter's still sounding nearby, and we were in no massive rush. We soon got chatting again. Fort explained how the robot cow had happened very quickly.
It was a matter of days after the nice virus hit. Every robot that was deemed unnecessary was destroyed, even harmless ones. It was considered logical and for the greater good,
He said. I wasn't sure what to say. I didn't think we could raise an army to fight the man in black, but I supposed I'd hoped we could do something to defend ourselves by the time they returned to Earth. As Fort filled the birds' dishes with food, I asked him why he carried them with him.
They can't fly anymore, so I feel kind of protective of them,
He said.
We found them in a bombed-out building.
It was so nice how he cared for them. I smiled and asked him their names.
This is Barry, and this little lady is Alice.
I don't know why I picked those names.
But I knew why, and it made me smile.
When we found them, they were badly hurt. But my friend, she nursed them back to health.
I asked him where his friend was now, but Fort just looked at the floor and said,
The helicopter must be gone by now.
Oh, I think it's... yeah, okay.
You've got to help me take the gunship down.
I'm not a soldier anymore.
The killer instinct is still inside you deep down.
That's in the past.
I can't do this without you.
I don't want to hurt anyone.
It's a
No.
drone gunship. It doesn't have feelings.
I've got an idea. Get me some fuel.
I was doing that. No.
Try.
No, I'm never gonna be able to pick... oh, never mind. I thought it flew up what was above this, and I was thinking, there's no way I'm gonna be able to pick that up. Victory.
That's her. Wearing her favorite dress,
said Fort.
She was a concierge robot, classy, intelligent, and designed to serve man. But when all the men were gone, just like me, she wasn't needed anymore.
Fort sighed and gently placed the photo back on the shelf. I thought I would try to cheer him up. Looking around the room, I saw a battered old piano, and thought I would try playing the tune Heather had taught me.
Those bass
I
clefs
told
look like
Fort how
frowns.
great I thought his house was, and I truly meant it. But I knew I needed to get back to my quest. However, things soon got serious when I mentioned my gloves and shoes.
Do you mean the magic shoes of gravity defiance? Fort asked.
And Atlas gloves of mighty strength. They sounded far grander when he described them, but I was pretty sure he meant the same things.
The sacred artifacts,
Fort said, but before I could reply he burst into an explanation about how there were certain things from some kind of half-remembered time that the robot rulers considered sacred and holy.
I used to believe in it all, the words, the prophecies, I even believed in the Chosen One,
said Fort.
But after well, I just couldn't swallow all the ghost stories and the nonsense about the afterlife. You know what I mean, buddy.
I didn't know about the afterlife, or the Chosen One, but I knew ghosts were real. I then began to explain how Mr. Preston had told me the story about how Mrs. Silton had told him a story about the brother of a man who works with her uncle giving a young motorcyclist a lift after a crash outside the Blackwall Tunnel. He pulled up outside the motorcyclist's destination, but when the man turned around, the motorcyclist had vanished. So he knocked on the door and an old woman answered. When he asked her if she had a son, the woman burst into tears and said I did, but he died in a motorcycle accident exactly 10 years ago, just outside the Blackwall Tunnel. And so we began a conversation that would take us long into the night. I shared the various philosophies that the old man had taught me about life, the universe and Douglas Adams, while Fort explained the robot philosophies, how there was a yearly competition to find the Chosen One, how they and only they would deserve the sacred artifacts, and how they would rule the world. It all sounded so grand. But I suppose I was tired. I'd be happy now if I could just sit and play some video games. Eventually Fort stood up.
Well, it's late,
he said.
I need to recharge. How are your batteries?
I honestly had no idea how my batteries were, so I smiled and said, I'll be fine here, thanks. I'll do it, was the first thing I said to Ford in the morning.
Do what?
Came his reply with a strange look. So I explained how I would enter this Chosen One contest, get these sacred shoes and gloves, then we would return home and defend the planet from the man in black.
Who will, buddy?
Asked Fort.
Me
And you? He had a point, but I knew Heather and the rest of my friends would help. Maybe it was the talk that Fort and I'd had, Maybe it was the dream I had last night, or maybe it was just the urge to get home and make sure everyone was safe, but I suddenly felt like I could save the world.
Come on then, buddy, said Fort. Show me what you've got. If you're going to win the contest, you'll have to be good.
Christian Cool, welcome to the stream. Hanging out and doing my thing. pleasure to have you here. Thank you for the follow, by the way. I recognize your name from the activity feed. I'm sorry I didn't catch it when I apparently didn't catch it when I was live. But I do appreciate you, my friend. Laser fatigue. Uh-oh. Is this how I prove I'm the chosen one? Is with a game of Pong? No. No.
Fort leant back with a big smile.
It's a long way.
He said,
To the contest, I mean. It'll take us months to walk to the robot capital. We had best get going.
Months. To be the man, you've got to beat the man. Woo.
Again, on Fort's suggestion, we mainly traveled at night. Even though the world was such a mess, the twilight still made everything look quite beautiful.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought it wasn't going to let me play. That's kind of cool. All junk clear. That was all the junk. There were 2 pieces of junk in this whole area. That was scary.
We took refuge in another bombed-out building, with Fort deciding when it was time to move again. We spent the next few months traveling like this until eventually we made it to the robot capital city.
We didn't get to play the snowy section. Worst game ever.
Fort had told me how the capital used to be a human city, but after the war, the robots had more than taken over. However, I didn't expect a literal cathedral of video games. I joined the queue and signed up for the tournament as soon as I could. I'll be over there, buddy. Good luck, said Fort as he found a seat with some huge agricultural robots and attempted to blend in. Before the competition began, the host spoke of many rules, laws and grand philosophies, comparing life to various video games. It sort of reminded me of Alice's church, but with none of the warmth or compassion. But still everyone clapped. There were to be 3 rounds to the competition, with a choice of 2 games per round. The player with the highest score would win, and advance to the next round. I won the coin toss, so it was my decision which game we played.
Oh. Oh, 100%. It's a good thing that I was curious about the arcade and sampled all these games, huh?
Play a short song and score as many points as you can.
I didn't know it was hard mode. So much for all my practice. Not too clever. Oh, that was a nightmare. That was awful.
I was shocked to discover that it was actually a tournament to the death. All the losers of round 1 were placed into a crusher, myself included. Luckily my Lazarus chip took me back far enough to start again.
There's no way I'm gonna master this rhythm game. What? Had Mario Party 1 and 2 did Nintendo 64 online. Right on. I thought they were supposed to be adding all 3 of them.
Drive fast and score as many points as you can.
I don't actually have the I don't have the Nintendo 64 expansion, so I don't really pay a lot of close attention to what gets released on it.
Checkpoint.
Drive fast and score as many points as you can.
I hate this. Maybe I'm wrong. Are we supposed to run over the pedestrians? That's Freddy Krueger.
the point.
Hey, we beat the score to beat. Oh, thank goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen, your round 1 winners. Well done, said Fort. I knew you could do it, buddy. Round 1 was in the bag, but now it was time to meet my opponents for round 2.
What is this, Meryl Street Fighter? We haven't encountered this game yet.
Shoot everything and score as many points as you can.
That game may not actually be really in this, though. Because the robot gets to choose, not us, so that might be it. I'm about to be dead. Oh, but it doesn't matter. I scored enough points.
Ladies and gentlemen, these 4 are your semi-finalists. Fort smiled as I stepped off the stage, but neither of us said anything. We were too focused on winning.
No, we don't get to play Hungry Ghost? I think I was better at Reasonable Force.
Score as many points as you can.
It's RoboCop. $57.60. Well, I did horribly.
It was quite horrible, but I, and the other loser of round 3, soon found ourselves inside a crusher. But my own personal cheat code kicked in, as my Lazarus chip took me back far enough. Try to score as many points as you can.
Look at this one. This time instead. Oh, he's named Robert Kopp. Oh my. It's almost the exact same score. Oh, that was terrible. No. I would have had it, except I didn't understand what was going on in the last round until I'd already ruined it.
Try to score as many points as you can.
I can't believe that Hungry Ghost is not part of the competition. That's how you know this is rigged. My favorite game. Is excluded. Doesn't matter how I do on this round, I've already won.
So here we have it. These two are our ultimate competitors. They will now fight it out in the final round.
Never mind, here it comes. The best game of all. Hungry Ghost versus what? Polybius? That's Billy Mitchell.
Ectoplasm as fast as you can.
Thank you for the palms, cows. Oh, it's a time challenge. Oh, that's rough. Victory.
Everyone cheered. The host even declared me the winner. But then, for some reason, a videotape which contained a better score than mine was presented. I was then informed that I would have to play my opponent again, but now on a mystery game. It seemed a little unfair, but I guess it was supposed to be some kind of tiebreaker.
Well, I don't expect to be victorious. I didn't even understand how the game was played. I don't know. I imagine this is a you know, a clone of a real arcade game, but what one it is, I couldn't tell you. No, I'm dead. Wow, when I died, he got sent back too. That's weird. That doesn't seem fair. I'm terrible at whatever game this is. Why is it so hard? Whatever this game is, I can't stand it.
Some shadowy robots forced me into a crusher. So for once it didn't feel like cheating when my Lazarus chip kicked in.
Oh no, not these swimming monstrosities. No, it's bad. It's bad. When I died, it brought him back to where I was restarting, but when I died, it caught him up to where I had been. This path is too narrow. Ugh.
I had finally won round 4, and thus the whole competition. However, unknown to me but seemingly well known to everyone else, there was more to come.
Spooky.
As I walked forwards, I heard a voice reciting a poem. To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. Show me your mark, demanded the yellow machine. I would have done as he said, but I had no idea what he meant. The machine sighed.
Your serial number. Who are you, robot?
To me, the number had always looked unimpressive, but it clearly meant something to this machine. For several minutes he called me things like, the firstborn, the chosen light, the cleanser of the world, and of course, literally, the one.
No matter, said the machine when he finally composed himself.
Before you can take the artifacts, we must play
the game. Winner stays on.
You of all people should know. This contest was conceived after we won the war. To find the greatest robot. To find the one. I beat my predecessor and he beat his. However, I have an advantage. The humans broadcasting their nice virus wasn't the first time I had felt the sweet sting of life. Long before then I briefly worked in a seaside arcade. However, I was recalled in 1974 when my AI was deemed too great for the general public. No one could beat me then. And no one can beat me now.
We do have to play Pong to prove we're the chosen one.
Nice to see you trying.
No.
Better than you on my first boot up. That was a fluke. That wasn't fair. Stop doing that.
No.
Pathetic.
That would have been so easy to not miss.
Have you even played this game before?
It's okay. I'm just missing so we get to hear more of the dialogue. I'm not really bad.
No, you can't win.
Sometimes my conquered opponent has to be coaxed into submission, said the machine. Some by force, some by bribery, some just need a few simple words. But I understand my fate. There will come soft rains and the smell of the ground, and swallows circling with their shimmering sound, and frogs in the pools singing at night, and wild plum trees in tremulous white. Robins will wear their feathery fire. Why haven't you done it? The button is right there. My soul is yours to take. But killing him was the last thing I wanted to do. So I asked him why should I? Because, he replied, this is the way things are, this is the way things have always been. So everyone wants to win this game, so they can sit in a dark cave waiting to play the game again. Things will have to change. And so, I was crowned by the grace of God, defender of the faith and ruler of the known world. I gave many rousing speeches to my new nation, and, when I told the machine about the moon and the man in black's army, he discussed with the Council of 9 advisors and assured me everything would be taken care of.
I had won the sacred tournament, so I, and I alone, had the right to wear the magic shoes of gravity defiance. The only trouble was, they didn't really work. I mean, they were fine as a pair of shoes, but I could no longer run up walls. But I guess this didn't really matter anymore, as one of the many perks of being the ruler of the known universe was that I could have everything I ever wanted. As awesome as my arcade was, Fort made it clear he wanted to leave, as he thought we had more important things to do.
All right, well, we have to spend a moment here because we've never actually played Charlie. But I've got to see what's going on here. So this is day off.
Checkpoint.
Just like driving on a real road, you don't want to take your eyes off the game. I'd really like to see that checkpoint flag come up. There it is. Great. I was thinking I at least want to make it a part 3. That's where we get the beautiful night sky and that sort of orange and blue day glow landscape. Oh, it's beautiful. I would love it. It looks like it's lit by a black light. It would be very cool. It would be very cool to hang out here. I don't know why everyone's driving around without their headlights on. I guess to admire the scenery better. No, there was another checkpoint right there. But that's different from this day off. In which I play as an egg. I get that that title was like the French word for egg, I guess.
Checkpoint.
Some European language. I saw the word Europa on the screen. I thought that this was going to be the game we played during the competition where we had to run over pedestrians, but
Checkpoint.
that doesn't exist. You know, I was hoping that the egg would look amazing under black light, and I'm kind of disappointed, I have to say. If this is really a European game, then why is my speed not in kilometers per hour? It is French for egg. Alright, but, what, so I see why those are different now. Very odd. Very odd indeed. Oh, there's two versions of Hungry Ghost. That one's purple. Oh, that's Miss Hungry Ghost. Oh, amazing. I can't wait to play that. But, first we've got to play this Charlie game. We've never actually played it outside of the, contest. It automatically... No, it's the same. Because I noticed in the contest it started us off on level 6. So I was like, oh, okay, there's... You know, there's probably at least 5 more levels, right? That we didn't get to see. But no. No. Ah, why is it numbered like that? That's a shame. That's a real shame. They have my hopes up. Grandpa Joe is a menace. He really is a menace. Alright, let's go play Miss Hungry Ghost. Oh, I'm excited. Oh no, it's broken. That's a very boring way to make the game more difficult. I'm disappointed. It feels like your ghost moves so much slower in this one. Oh, you just move slow through the trash on the other side of the screen. Yeah. Real slow over here. That's all right. That was a tremendous disappointment. All right. I don't think there's any reason to play any of the rest of them. I'll take a quick look at them, but Rhythm King, Reasonable Force, Annabelle Olympics, Dance Invader, Rhythm King. Yeah, the other ones seem like they're just repeats. All right.
Come and see me.
Fort was worried I was being sucked in by it all. I am not, I replied. I'm ruler of the world. Fort sighed. That's exactly what I mean. I've barely seen you in weeks. We were going to take Barry and Alice to the park, but all you do is play video games. You don't even care that there's a rocket coming from the moon. I've been busy, I explained, and the advisors said they'd take care of the moon. We beat the humans before. We're in a good position to enter into peace talks. Fort turned to leave the room. Buddy, you're as delusional as they are. Is this really everything you've ever wanted?
When you're ready to leave.
The cutscene interrupted the dialogue. The cutscene interrupted the dialogue, and then the dialogue continued after it. That was so weird.
I felt awful about how I had treated Fort, so I arranged a day out for us as soon as I could. I had completely forgotten that it was Heather's camera. Suddenly I was totally and completely overcome with the urge to go home. I thought I was happy here, but I realized I wasn't. Plus Fort was right, I was being delusional. The moon rocket must have landed by now and there really was no chance of peace. We had to do something. I told the advisors about my plan to go home and head off the Man in Black, but they seemed more concerned with taxing their own people and tried to fob me off with more days out and video games. So, we smiled and left the advisors to it, waited until dark, and on Fort's advice, just sort of ran off. It wasn't difficult to sneak out. There was no one around thanks to the Robot City curfew laws, but to be honest, as I was their king, I don't think anyone would have stopped us anyway. I think my astro navigation had failed us, as neither I nor Fort remembered coming this way. Somehow we found ourselves in a massive forest, and Fort decided it was time to rest. It wasn't long before we were inside a huge sawmill.
Oh, I went right into that saw like I was aiming for it. That was close.
Fort seemed quite sad about the trees being cut down. Our journey took us through a huge theme park. It was just like the one in Alice's town, but much bigger.
This part's okay.
And I was struck by how similar the inside of a sawmill and the inside of the roller coaster were.
Oh, we get to walk through the snowy area. I don't believe it. I cried about it earlier, and here it is. Kind of. It, the background is, not what I would hope for. You know, I was hoping for, you know, some mountains and or icicles or something beautiful like that.
Eventually we wound up inside the ski resort, but we could see a huge boat in the valley below.
This is a little better.
Fort suggested we travel under the cover of night, as we were getting near the humans, and home.
I don't know. The area was full of a lot of emptiness, so it felt incomplete.
The cruise liner carried us through the night to warmer waters.
It's kind of cool how we transitioned from one place to another there.
The bay that we docked the boat in looked pleasantly familiar. The gleaming white cliffs made me feel like a soldier returning home from war. It was then I realized we were literally just outside Alice's house. We were about to continue, when Fort noticed something on my shoes. And with that, they worked again, allowing me once more to defy gravity. I kind of wished we had seen this switch months ago, but Fort just seemed to find it hilarious as we continued on our way home.
There's no one outside walking around like there usually is. Oh, there's a bunch of soldiers. That's probably not great.
train is now departing. Factoriton. This is Factoriton. Mind the doors. The train is now departing.
Mainton was the next stop. I could get back to the mainland and Mr. Silton's from here.
I have to check the shops and arcades because they can have different stuff in stock. What a beautiful moon up in the sky there.
I made my way back out to the mainland. I suggested Fort find somewhere to hide. I thought the others may not have seen him as being as friendly as I did. I then made my way into the familiar damp hallway. Everyone was so pleased to see me. I explained how I had survived being dismantled and escaped from the moon. I told them about the robots and the game tournament, and everyone seemed to find it funny that I was crowned ruler of the universe. It was then that I felt a gentle tapping on my leg. I looked down and saw a small girl smiling at me. "This is our daughter Heather," said Mrs. Silton. "We named her after..." Mr. Silton burst into the room looking very angry. At first I thought he was joking, but it soon became clear that he wasn't. "I can't believe you came back here. It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, Preston would still be alive." "Barry, it's not his fault." But Mr. Silton suddenly looked very sad as he said, "This robot got your daughter killed." It might have been because he was 10 feet tall, or because he literally weighed a ton, but everybody was so scared it thought. Still, they all agreed it was fine for him to stay. We chatted long into the night until one by one, everyone went to bed.
Another flying section. How many of these flying sections have I done tonight? These pointless flying sections. This game answers the question, what if Mega Man was a British sci-fi soap opera? The final
"You can't
battle.
sleep?" asked Mrs. Silton. "Me as well." "Number 2 on the way," she smiled.
At least I'm not barefoot. She then laughed, like it was a joke.
But despite having traveled the world,
I had no idea what she meant.
"I suppose everyone else will be up in a bit. I'll get breakfast started." In the morning everyone continued chatting. The subject soon got back round to the military takeover and the man in black. "We need to do something," said the old lady. "They've destroyed the peace talks with the robots. Fighting could break out again in no time." "I don't mean to sound overdramatic, but that would literally be the end of the world," explained Sim. Alice laughed. "But the army, there's no way we can fight them. We've lost our band of thieves, and, in the words of that French professor, God rest his soul, we're just some old ladies." The old lady stood up. We just need to take back control of the satellite. We can broadcast a signal to the robots. Those robot advisors, they might listen if they actually saw this new moon army. And those giant robots, they call them killbots, said Mrs. Silton as she showed me several photos. It seems the house was surrounded by hundreds of troops and a few robots so tall they dwarfed the building itself. So, I suggested we made our way there so Fort and I could assess the situation. Mr. Logan had got the boat out of hiding. I now just had to sail it from the dock back to the estate.
Hey, I have my balloon back.
I took the fisherman's boat to the old man's estate. I knew you would come back here, came a horribly familiar voice.
I should have made sure you were dead when I had the chance.
It was the man in black. I have personally modified your nice virus, and now, with one flick of a switch,
I'll finish the job.
It's pointless now, said Alice. We might as well give up. I don't know, maybe we can arrange a truce.
I mean, if we agree.
But Sim couldn't even finish his sentence.
Mrs. Silton just sighed.
I think she was lost for words.
We really need Barry and Logan
if we're going to recapture the house, said the old lady.
Mrs. Silton explained
She had phoned him earlier. Apparently he sounded fine, at least until she mentioned coming home. Then he started screaming. I couldn't understand him at all. He wants nothing to do with saving the world. His words, not mine.
Sorry.
The old lady sighed. I was worried he might say that. I take it Logan stayed with him. Logan's more of a dog than the dog is, laughed Alice. The old lady was only really worried we would be outgunned. She said I would be the secret weapon as I would be able to sneak back into the house. That's true, said Sim, if we cause enough of a distraction. As long as you can get up to the roof, we'll be able to take control of the satellite. Hopefully the virus hasn't reached all the other robots around the world. Suddenly, all hell broke loose. The old lady, Alex and the others opened fire. This was just the distraction I needed to make my way up to the roof. I was shocked. However, this time not just by the giant brain, but rather what the man in black had done to him. I do not want to, said Mr. Deck, but I will shoot you if I must. Why don't you give up, said the man in black. Anton knew which side was right. Why don't you join us? I know we've had our differences, but I see potential in you. You could be my new right-hand man. You see, there's a link between you and I. Without me you wouldn't even be here. The two brothers designed and built you. But what nobody ever told you is, they were funded by their third brother. Me. I was speechless. How could he, this completely evil man, have something to do with my creation?
Thank you.
A minor setback, said the man in black as he disconnected a piece of the satellite hardware. I just need to take this core unit and hitch it up to one of the killbots. In fact, that will make the virus signal even stronger. Mr. Deck, said the man in black, would you be so kind as to watch the robot? Shoot him if he tries anything. Mr. Deck lowered his gun. You little yellow bastard, he said, you'd better run.
Thank you for the dramatic music sting, cows. That wouldn't have been a good twist, even if I was interested in the story. I didn't see that saw down there before. I knew it was down there, but I didn't know its pattern. Hmm. No! Ah! I wonder what the first game to muffle the soundtrack when the character's underwater. I wonder what the first game to do that was. It's a great effect that you see everywhere nowadays. So whoever thought of it, stroke of genius. It really makes the water more believable. Yeah. Yeah, it really puts you in the environment very well. I couldn't stop to assess the situation because of the fire. And so I just, ran right into a saw. Yeah, I hit a checkpoint somewhere. I mean, I guess I hit a checkpoint right there, but, Thank goodness, a checkpoint. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh goodness, I hated this boss. And I don't remember how to fight it. Oh. No. This is so annoying. I'm glad I could see that before it hit me. Well, I hated this boss before, and guess what? I still hate it. It gave me a checkpoint it hadn't been given me. Look, it's starting with this slanted as like a mercy, but it's not a mercy at all because it just... Because it doesn't help me. Because it pounds on the wrong side, so I still have to do the same thing. All it did is make it harder. Ah, thanks for the worthless checkpoint. I still have to survive at least 2 rounds of this. Because I needed to push the left side down, not the right. And I can't get around there fast enough to make it push the left on the first try. Yeah, see, there's no way to get to where you need it to press on the first try. Overwhelmingly terrible. We got a boxing mini game. I think I can stay paused here though. Especially since we have a raid coming in. Pixel Thrift, welcome to the stream. How are you, my friend? Welcome to the end of Horace. I don't actually know if it's the end. The game told me it was the final battle, but knowing this game, it is most likely lying. But pleasure to have you here. What were you up to tonight? How did your stream go? Hanging out in the art category. Right on. Is that Pups and Javi? Welcome in. Thank you for coming along, Pups. If I may call you that. Finished our Laughing Cow Poggers emote. Nice. Have you got it uploaded? Cows are very popular around this stream. My friends, if you want to use that link there, you can give Pixel Thrift a follow. About page says starving social worker, aspiring pixel artist, music nerd, weird video games. I love it. What a fantastic set of interests. Thank you again for the raid, my friend. I've appreciated having you here to chat with us. Don't think I knew that you streamed until now, but I'm giving you a follow so that I can maybe drop in if I catch you live sometime. If our streams don't overlap too much. Pixel Thrift is king, Pup says. Right on. Laughing Cow cream cheese mascot. Right on. That is some excellent detail there in the pixel art. Way to go. Oh, you even got like the line around the smile. Perfect. Around the corner, that is. What? Alright, I'm checking them out. I don't get the Drew Carey one. It looks fine. I don't know what it's a reference to though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot of the characters here. But so far as I can tell, they're well done. I love your cow emote, Cow says. There you go. You got the cow's seal of approval. This was done in like 15 minutes somehow. I don't know. It was a miracle. We're learning how to box. First few streams of yours I watched for Scooby-Doo games. All right, fair enough. That was a lot of my streams for a while there. Pups and Javi, thank you for the follow, by the way. I appreciate having you on board. Thank you for that. Uh-oh. What a... No! We might be here a while. I thought you exclusively played them, but that just happened to be what I found you. Yeah, I was working on a jank marathon there for a while. We were doing a Scooby-Doo and Powerpuff Girls games, but I ran out of them. I played through everything I had. No, he got 2 in a row. Quick! What are you doing? It would... Oh. I wasn't ready for it. We'll probably be doing another one of those jank game marathons in January, too. I'm taking a little bit of a break from the trash for a while. Mostly. I don't know, some of my October selections have been less than stellar. Victory? Question mark? Oh, I'm playing now. Just like every villain from every movie in the 80s. He dies by falling off a cliff. Just got back from the Portland Retro Expo. My pickups ended up being jank tie-ins. I love it.
Somehow the man in grey had snuck up behind Mrs. Silton. I tried to shout down, but no one could hear me. Oi, shouted a familiar voice. Step away from my wife. The man in grey bragged with every blow. Who he'd hurt, who he'd tortured, how he'd made the world a better place. As he raised the gun to Mr. Silton's head, he said, "You're out of your depth. I'm a professional. I used to kill for the CIA." Mr. Silton just smiled and said, "Yeah, and I'm a proper
Oh, that move was sick. Same game, Derek. The Hunt for Red October on NES.
With the rest of the great and good now stuck on the moon, and the man in black taken care of, it was reasonably easy to convince his troops to surrender. Signals came through from all over the planet, and soon the people began rebuilding civilization. And again, I was heralded as a hero. Soon the representatives from around the world held their first united meeting, and I was invited to give a speech.
I thought you'd stepped away a moment and just didn't recognize it. I thought it looked different from before.
The old lady gently examined me, while Sim attached a cable from the diagnostic machine. "I've got some bad news," said the old lady as she took my hand. "The virus is rampant in your system. It's not as bad as it was with Betty Fluffers and Fort, but it's still destroying your circuitry." "I'm thinking," said Sim, "it must have something to do with consciousness. Yours seems more equipped to fight." "We'll still need to do something," said the old lady with a serious look. "If we replace all of the affected parts, we..." "Come on, mate," said Mr. Silton, "you know they can help." But I explained that it was too painful, and hurt so much. Just having my diagnostic panel open was excruciating. "So you mean you can feel things? But you're not supposed to be able to." "The virus hasn't completely taken over," Sim explained. "But I don't know how long you've got, maybe months, maybe years. When you, well, if it all gets a bit too much," said the old lady, "come back here and we'll look after you. You should try to get everything done that you want to before then, though," said Sim. "You know, maybe complete your quest, get your million things, play some games. I mean just do all the things, bucket list mate," interrupted Mr. Silton. "Go paint the town red." "Remember," said Alice, "should you need us." "Yes, should you need us," said Mr. Logan. "We'll be right here," said the old lady,
Waiting for you.
Carpe diem. Alright, again, sorry, I don't like talking over the game when it talks, and unfortunately it's really talky sometimes. Pup said, "I love the Scooby-Doo game for PlayStation 2, Night of 100 Frights Classic." I have to admit, I'm less enthusiastic about that game than you. It was one of the ones that I played, and we played it to 100%, but there were some parts that caused me a little bit of grief. Maybe a lot of grief. I got lost and confused and had some bad times for a while in that game. Maybe it's better on the PlayStation 2, though. I played it on the Xbox. And I wanted to say, Pixel Thrift, the jank pickups that you got, are you planning to play them on stream? Shrek for Xbox, Shrek the Third for DS, Shrek Smash Racing for PS2, Starsky and Hutch for PlayStation 2. Looks like you have your own Shrek marathon there. Retire? You have saved the world. Is your work here done? No carry on collecting. Alright, well, we're kind of in this situation now where it's like we're at the end of the game, except we're not, because we haven't collected a million junk. The thing is, at this point, like, I don't know how we... I don't know how we know where all junk has been cleared and where it hasn't. Or if there is even any way to know. To,
Now then, said the dirty old man, let's see what you've got.
To get the true
This
ending.
looks interesting. My wife will love this. I like these. I'll just clean off the blood. Cheap as chips. Impressive. Impressive. Cheap as chips. Everything else is junk.
Hopefully gonna play
Go on
them.
then, said the younger man. Stick everything in Bertha.
Gotta hit the hay. See you next time. Thank you again for the raid, Pixel Thrift. I really appreciate that, my friend. I hope that you sleep well and that I get to enjoy your company again. Alright, any new items for sale? Ninja suit. Become invincible for a short time. Activate by pressing down and the run button. Oh.
Would you like that one gift wrapped, sir? The cost for this upgrade is 80,000.
This will help us with backtracking. Sparrow! Here's the sight for sore eyes. Sparrow says, welcome in. I hope you're doing well, mate. Daniel Berserk, welcome in as well. Good to see you again. This game is amazing. Best platformer of 2019. Glad Amazon is helping the small developer. I don't really know much about the development. Or their connection to Amazon. This is the first I've heard of it, but this is a pretty good game. I won't say that I love it, but I do like it. I've had fun with it. The story stuff is all too much for me. It's got some really cool platforming and some really cool bosses, but it's also got some frustrating platforming and some frustrating bosses. So it's but I would rank it pretty high. I'd give it, I'd give it like a 5.5 to 6 out of 7. It's a story-heavy game. Very story-heavy. I'm pretty far along. I'm in chapter 22. And yeah, I've fallen into the sky lots of times. It's funny the first time. It's annoying every time after that because you can't skip the cutscene. Call this game the never-ending story. Sparrow says, I've been away helping a friend who's going through a breakup. So it's been a bit hectic for me. My condolences to your friend, Sparrow. Not a pleasant process, I imagine. I'm glad your friend has you to be there. To be there for them, though. To see them through. And by breakup, I'm talking 12-year marriage. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm really glad your friend has you, Sparrow. That, yeah. That's obviously got to be a pretty hard situation. Story heavy is a bit of an understatement, Cow says. Yeah. And I'm not one for story in games. The writing in this is pretty great sometimes. It's a bit over much at other times, but you know. What is this? Oh, I'm able to stand here and grind junk. Huh. That's what it seems like anyway. It sets off my
I
junk
took the
vacuum.
fisherman's boat to the mainland.
I shouldn't have gotten in this boat. That was a mistake.
I took the fisherman's boat to the old man's estate.
Thank you for the follow, Daniel. Appreciate having you on board with us. Thank you for that. I'm being there maybe a bit too much. I'm worried I'll become a casualty in it all. Well, I would certainly hope not. Well, I know there's tons of areas in the game where I have not collected the junk that I need to collect. I'm not going to stand in the photo booth and grind up 200,000 junk in photos. That is not gonna happen.
You don't have anything, said the dirty old man. Now hop it.
You know what I mean, though? I'm friends with both of them. One more so than the other, and one person is being extremely unfair and frankly cruel. Yeah, I don't think that that's, you know... And it's not the person I'm closest to. Well, good for that. I mean, it's not a situation that is likely to bring out the best in anybody, right? But, I mean, I imagine there's a good probability you're probably gonna come out of this, you know, with one friend fewer than you had before. I don't think that it's a, you know, I don't think it's a situation where you have a lot of control over whether that happens. Worst part is there's kids involved. It's an utter mess. Maybe I need to step back. I hope the right person gets you in the divorce, Sparrow Cow says. I do go above and beyond for friends, but maybe it's to my detriment. I mean... I don't know, Sparrow. It depends on the people and the situation. There's just so many particulars. You'll have to feel it out as best you can. This is why I don't want to get married, Derek says. Fortunately, it's been nothing but good for me. I would be pretty hopelessly miserable without Jolly. I got the news at 4 a.m. and was there straight away to pick him up and take him out of the house. I mean, if it's a nasty situation, then probably, you know, if they're being nasty toward one another, I would imagine some time apart. It's probably not a bad idea. If they're more likely to make the situation worse by being in proximity with one another, then maybe that should be minimized. For now, you know. Alright, my friends. Well, we're going to be done with Horace for tonight. We'll pick it back up. We might take a short break from it. It might not be on the schedule for next week, but I think I do want to try and get the true ending. Well, hang on. I'm going to do something here. This where it has to retire. I don't know. I'm scared to... I want to see what happens when you say yes. But I'm scared it's going to end my game before we have a chance for the true ending. I also don't know if we want to grind out 1,000,000 junk on the stream. Well, why don't we roll the dice? If I'm gonna see what happens when you say yes here, and if it kills my save file, then we'll be done with Horace.
Over the next couple of months I started to get slower and slower. I needed a cane to help me walk, and my circuits felt so cold that the old lady suggested I wore the old man's lovely thick jacket. Life was simple, one day into the next. Just helping out wherever I could. Then one morning things got really exciting. Mrs. Silton was going to have the baby. Eventually, after much screaming and cursing, mostly from Mr. Silton, the baby was born. He was this lovely little squishy pink thing, but for some reason he wouldn't stop crying. Alice suggested getting him a teddy bear, but there was no way Heather was giving hers away. That's when I remembered something.
Oh no, I can't jump. Oh, I don't need to, though. I remembered this teddy bear, too.
That's perfect, said the old lady. Thank you.
more flying. That sounds pretty ugly, Sparrow. I would probably be very uncomfortable being near that situation. I must be a glutton for punishment. I think your loyalty to your friends is quite admirable, Sparrow. So, alright, so we got an ending. We're getting a credit roll. Again, this doesn't necessarily mean we're done. We didn't reach that million junk mark. And if this, depending on how the save file works from this point, if we have an option to go back for it without having to redo the whole game, then I think we'll do that. But we'll have to see what happens after the credits. Oh, goodness. I think I would really love this game if it just cut out like 2/3 of the downtime. Good job reaching the credits. Thank you, cows. Thank you for the trophies. So we'll see if these credits ever end. We'll see what we're gonna do about continuing. Not just a general thanks. This is a real genuine thank you from Paul Hellman to you, the person who just finished Horace. Well, thank you, Paul. I enjoyed a lot of your game. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Yeah. I didn't really think that it was going... Oh! Post-game suit. I liked the blue better. That was better than the monochrome, but I mean, it is what it is, I guess. So there's a couple rooms in the house we've never been into. I don't think that's going to push us to 1 million. I think we're going to have to, you know, scour the game to hit that 1 million mark. But there's a couple rooms up there, and the spaces on either side of the house. I know we went over, especially to the one on the left, I think. But I don't think we explored it. We explored it semi-thoroughly. Look at those threads, Cal says. But we're going to be done with Horace for tonight. I may I may take a week off from it. It might not be on the schedule for next week. I'm gonna have to decide that over the weekend. It's kind of goes both ways. Like, one, since we just finished it, it'd be nice to do something different for a little while. But I'm scared if I put it down, I won't come back to it. And if I don't come back to it in a timely manner, it's going to be just that much harder to finish. So we'll see. We might just grind it out to a finish next week. After all, that's probably what we'll do. That's most likely what we'll do, I guess. But that's it for this. It's been an adventure. I would recommend Horace with the asterisk that you've got to be okay with some occasionally frustrating platforming, and you got to be okay with a lot of story. And if you're okay with those two things, then I think you'll have a lot of fun with Horace. All right, it's got some really good platforming, some really good bosses, some amazing mini games. Some of the writing's really funny. The references to 80s and 90s pop culture, you know, if you're around my age, you're gonna love those. So pretty good. Whoa, Boat Ladder, welcome in. Great to see you. Thank you. I think you shared these monsters before, but I'm just admiring them again. What a nice collection of monsters you have there. And Zinchon is here. Zinchon, my good friend, how goes Wild Arms 3? Good luck, Raid. Thank you for the wishes of good luck. Your good luck wishes must have preceded you. I got the first ending in Horace. We've still got a bit more work to do to get the true ending. But we did make it to the first credit roll. So for anyone who's tuned into Horace, I'm sorry, you've missed tonight's portion, I'm afraid. I'm on the cusp of taking a BRB and switching over to Dark Souls. It's going, Zinchon says. I think I'm close to the end. How's Horace? Horace is good. I just kind of gave my sort of final thoughts on it. I would say if you're okay with a little bit of very frustrating platforming and bosses, and you're okay with a lot of story, then you could have fun with this game, right? It's a really good for an indie platformer. Some of the platforming is spectacular. Some of the bosses are really good. Some of the writing's really good, but it is occasionally very frustrating, and it is way too talky for my taste. I would say I would like to have a reduction of downtime by like 60%. But I'm glad to hear that you're making progress with Wild Arms, and I'm very grateful that you've picked us as your raid target, Zinchon. I know the feeling, lots of talking in Wild Arms. I know, that's the thing I'm scared of. That's the thing I'm scared about. I want to play that series. It's just one of those things. I'm just going to have to grit my teeth and struggle through the talkiness. But that's a little bit further down the road yet. So yeah, I need to run off. I need to take that BRB. But I will be right back with you, my friends. We're going to move over to Dark Souls. It's a first playthrough. It's a super blind playthrough. So if that sounds interesting to you, watching someone who has no idea what they're doing struggle their way through Dark Souls and occasionally make progress, then just stand by. I'll be right back with you.